This is such a conversation that doesn't have an end. To be honest, I can go on speaking about how we all need to accept that, you know what, God knows better. The day we can believe that my God knows better than what I know, that something He knew because of which He's taken this person away, and His decision cannot be wrong compared to mine. Jai Lakshmi, how to handle the death of a very close one. Jai Lakshmi, it all depends on what is your relationship with death. So one of the things very early on my journey I decided to do was to stop looking at death as a negative thing. What if death is the reunion of the soul with God Himself? Should that be looked upon as a bad thing or as a good thing? So what if this is the being on earth is the struggle and dying is actually where you get released of all struggle? So imagine that this very closed person is now reuniting with his highest almighty. Should you be celebrating that or should you be grieving that? Yeah. So first it is changing our mindset towards death. If we can do that. Now we've not been taught this, so for some people this is too radical a thought. For me, I always say that anybody in heaven for me is actually my hotline with God. That means they are sitting with God talking about me. Anybody who's lost a close one will tell you that they can sometimes sense them in the room, they can sense their energy. They just don't have a physical body, but you know what? Energetically, you still have a connection. If you want to tap into their wisdom, you can literally sit in your meditation and ask them a question and you literally receive an answer. You want to know whether they are present with you or not, you can ask for signs from God, and sometimes the flickering of a light or the same song that you used to listen with this person or a color that they liked or a movie that they liked, they will speak to you in ways that, you know, you will be amazed. You will get goosebumps like, oh my God, you know. So just know that, like they say, especially in the Hindu culture, we have this concept of that the soul doesn't die. It only changes its body, like the way we change our clothes, it only changes its bodies, right? So I want you to start to go with this thought that what if God knows better when to take who, and that I questioning what God knows better is me acting God. So for me, I can't question God's decisions. It's beyond me. If this is what He wanted, then I completely have faith and surrender in my God that He will never do anything wrong. If He's decided to do that, maybe He knew that this person would land up suffering more, or maybe this person's journey was complete for the struggle or the growth that they needed on earth. Whatever, God always knows. You know, there was this beautiful story I had once heard about this lady who had lost her husband and she had tried to commit suicide many a times, but she was just not dying. Till one night as she was sleeping, she had this dream where she, as a soul angel in heaven, God had asked who's going to go on earth and help all the widows, and she had lifted her hand. And then God had asked who's going to help her become a widow so that she can help people, because she will know through her own experience what they suffer. And her husband had lifted his hand, and then suddenly when he had died, as she was married to him for about 2 years, and then he had died in his sleep, she realized that her whole purpose of coming on earth was to actually help other widows. And then she wrote a book called, I think, Heartbreak to Healing. And amazing. I mean, she lives in America. She was a part of one of our courses also, and Jack used to narrate this story, and it really touched my heart. I don't know how true all of this is. What I do know is that when we are born, there is this veil of amnesia which exists between why we were born, and the journey on earth is about understanding why we were born. What was it that we were born for? And one of the things you have to understand is that whenever that veil of amnesia will disappear, or whenever our work will be complete, then it will be time for us to go back. And for people whose time has come to go back, we should allow them to go, because in holding on to their spirits, we are doing a disservice to them. We are not letting them live in peace, because when they see us unpeaceful, then they also can't be in peace. Like we say, no, may he rest in peace. He or she can only rest in peace when we are in peace with the fact that they have gone. So release them as much as you can and become a happy person, because as they watch you, the happier you are, the happier they will be. I remember I had this very nice client called Dr. Natarajan. He used to come to me, and he had lost his wife and he had lost his happiness. And to me, he was the epitome of what an amazing husband should be. So I used to always feel like, and I told him, I said, if your wife was sitting next to you right now, the way you are eating, the way you are looking after yourself, do you feel like, and I have his permission to share the story, therefore I take his name, would you think she would be proud of you? And he said no. I said, would she be feeling bad that she's left you? He said yeah. I said, can you today onwards make her proud? And he started to live a very different life, and today he's such a happy man. His interaction, the way he's giving back, he's a pediatric, and in COVID he's helped so many children through Corona. I'm so proud of him. So you know what, he changed his entire perception, and instead of grief, now he celebrates their anniversary, he celebrates her birthday. I just love what he's landed up doing with that new perspective. So Jai Lakshmi, sorry I took a little longer, but this is such a it's such a conversation that doesn't have an end. To be honest, I can go on speaking about how we all need to accept that, you know what, God knows better. The day we can believe that my God knows better than what I know, that's something he knew because of which he's taken this person away, and his decision cannot be wrong compared to mine. So see if you can go with that thought, yeah?